Dhritarashtra uvacha dharmakshetre kurukshetre samvetayuyotsavaha mamakav pandavaschaiva kim akurvat Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjay, after assembling in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, what did my sons and the sons of Pandu do, being desirous to fight? The foremost thing, before we even begin to hear the Vedic knowledge or the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, is understanding, verifying the source. We would have got this confusion, or we should think now, that Bhagavad Gita has got so many editions, and similar is the case with other Vedic literatures, and every edition is conveying a unique meaning. So how do we understand which is the right meaning, the original sense, what Krishna wanted to convey to Arjuna? This is very important to discover. So we should not simply start hearing from any source. Otherwise, it is told, it can create disaster in our spiritual life. People who have done commentaries which are very famous on Bhagavad Gita, they describe, it is actually not a historical incident. It is an allegorical narrative. The Kurukshetra is human body, Pandavas are the 5 senses, and Kauravas are 100 vices within the body, and this battle is our internal struggle of senses to overcome the vices. But this is very wrong understanding, because it is explained in various parts of the Vedas. Kurukshetra dharmam achare. There is reference of Kurukshetra as Dharmakshetra, as Dhritarashtra is speaking here. If you have to perform dharma, any religious activities, go to the pilgrimage Dharmakshetra of Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra dharmam acharet. So Kurukshetra is considered, and even now we know, it is a geographical location. So why this discrepancy happens? It is because people do not know how to take the right knowledge. The right knowledge, original intent, is very carefully preserved and passed on the succession of disciples in schools called parampara or sampradaya. So it is told in the Padma Puran, in Garg Samhita, which are those sampradayas, Vedic schools, from which you should get this knowledge. So it is said, Sampradaya vihinaye mantraste nishvala mataha Shri Brahma Rudra Sanaka Vaishnava Shiti Pavana. You may be very happy. I have read this very nice mantra in the Vedas or Gita. I am chanting this every day. But the Vedas are telling, if you have not received it in parampara, nishphala mataha, that is nishphal, of no use. Other places Vedas mention nishphala smritaha. So nishphal, it is useless if it is sampradaya vihin. That is why it is important to stick very carefully to one sampradaya or disciplic succession. So which are these disciplic successions? How do we find? So it is mentioned, as I quoted in this verse, Shri Brahma Rudra Sanaka. First sampradaya is Shri, then Brahma. Lord Krishna gave this knowledge to Goddess Lakshmi. Then Lord Brahma is another immediate disciple. Lord Shiva is also another immediate disciple. And the fourth sampradaya is that of Kumaras, the sons of Brahma. So they passed this knowledge to their disciples, and then they decided among our disciples who can pass it without any change, who has understood the perfect meaning, and in this way he was declared the next Guru. Then that Guru chose another perfect person who can pass it on without any change. So Sanskrit is such a wonderful language. Even in English, a statement can have many meanings. What to speak of Sanskrit, which means most reformed. So every verse of Sanskrit can have 60, 70 or many more meanings. So we have to understand in this parampara, Krishna explained to Brahma, Brahma explained to Narad, Narad explained to Vedvyas, he explained to Madhvacharya. This is called Brahma Sampradaya, and we humbly belong to this Brahma Sampradaya, which is one of the 4 original Sampradayas. to pass this knowledge without any change. And not only the original meaning, but the spiritual potency is also passed on in this succession. We can memorize all the shlokas of the Vedas and Bhagavad Gita, but we will not be able to have realization. We can read, Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara. I am not the body, I am spirit, soul. But the realization will never come, how I am not the body, I am spirit, soul. Always lust, greed, senses will be pulling us. So this realization is passed on in this parampara, the original message and the spiritual potency. That is why when we chant mantra received from the bona fide guru coming in parampara, that mantra becomes effective and that promotes us to spiritual realization. So, but we are very fortunate, we are in touch with the Brahma Sampradaya, and thus the spiritual potency and the original meaning is kept intact. So Dhritarashtra also is knowing that Kurukshetra does not mean the body, thus he is very much afraid, concerned that Kurukshetra is Dharmakshetra, place of pilgrimage. The place has got very strong influence upon the activities and intentions of people living over there. So Dhritarashtra is concerned there should not be any truce between the parties because he wanted the battle to happen, Pandavas to be defeated and his sons to occupy the throne. So he's asking Sanjay, did the armies actually fight being assembled on the battlefield of Kurukshetra? Let us see what Sanjay replies.